Hello again. Quite recently I uploaded a game that I played involving the Danish Gambit, which was a very happy choice of opening for me. It produced a speedy 1 in 23 moves, and I did mention that the best line to this defense is d5 on Black's fifth move. It was devised by the Austrian player Karl Schlechter, who lived many years ago and drew a championship match with Dr. Emanuel Lasker, and he believed that it more or less refuted the Danish Gambit. Well, the opponent that I had in this game thought that he'd try it out. It's a different opponent to the one who played in the previous game, but of comparable strength, so it makes no odds which one had played it, I don't think. So what I propose to do is to reel this game off to you. Again, as with the other one, I'll give the main line moves, and any alternatives will feature in the comments box, except when we reach the 7th move for white, and I'll just mention the line that Karl Schlechter believed to be probably the line that would cause white to think that he's onto a win, but in fact he's not. So let's take this move by move. The first move, of course, is e4, and black replies, as you would expect, e5. So take, and thus fights the center game. And now white opts for the Danish Gambit. This game was played like the other one with 30 minutes on either side, and I didn't need anywhere near it. I'm improving with my time control, so I'm very pleased about that. So white plays bishop c4. It's going exactly as it did in the other game, and this is as per theory from well over 100 years ago. So take the pawn. Some players take it, some don't, but it's reckoned to be about the best move to take the third pawn, so off it goes, and so goes this one. So now we reach the standard position after 5 moves. Now in the other game my opponent played queen g5, which I'd never seen before, and it's not mentioned in any of the old literature that I have. Now this is the move that was suggested by Schlechter, to play d5, and what he's doing is counteracting the effect that the bishop on c4 has in the center, and particularly on f7. So he's striking in the middle and he's opening the lines for the bishop in that. So how should we play this? Well, the theory at the time stated either bishop takes or pawn takes. Now I looked at the pawn takes prior to the playing of this game and I just didn't like it, so I thought to myself, we'll go after bishop d5, and white recovers a second pawn, so he is now only 1 pawn adrift. Now you would think that black would have to do something here, like for instance queen e7, because clearly what white is threatening is to unleash bishop f7, king takes f7 and wins the queen, or else at best, after bishop f7, king e7 with a displaced king. But the move that Karl Schlechter decided is correct is knight f6. Now what he's wanting white to do here is the following. We'll just go through this briefly. Bishop takes f7 check. Yes, that's right. Black willingly allows white to win the queen. So the queen comes off. Can you see what he has in mind here? Yes, it's quite neat this, isn't it? Bishop b4 check. Now, of course, white's queen is under attack. The only way that he can save the loss of a piece is to bring the queen back here, and then takes it off, knight b, d2, like that. And what Schlechter reckoned is, with this move, followed by bishop e6 and rook d8, black had a better endgame, and I would be inclined to agree with him on that. So we'll just put all of this back, and we won't do any of that. I'd already decided before playing this game that I'd try something else. I'd been looking at it and I figured that we could do something different to that. So let's see what happened. Okay, so that's the position after black has played knight f6. And like I say, that's the theory, bishop takes f7. But there is an alternative move, and my old book recommended this, and it's to here. Now what we're doing with this is that we are now threatening bishop f7 for sure, because of course you take on f7, he takes back, you take the queen, he has no check now because the knight is in the way. So that puts a stop to that. So what does black do in reply to that? Well, what he does is he plays knight b d7, and now of course bishop f7 doesn't work because he's blocked the d line. So my old book gives knight to f3 at this stage, and I thought that not quite active enough. So what I decided on is this, queen b3. And what we're doing here is we're threatening bishop f7, and we're also threatening here. This isn't so much of a threat because of course if you took it here, he'd play rook b8, pinning your bishop against the queen. However, the queen b3 move I think works quite well, and I would recommend on the basis of this game and my analysis prior to it and since, that it's a good bet. So how does black respond to this? Well, he doesn't respond in the strongest possible way. I think he might have been taken aback with this move. I think he makes a bit of a mistake. I think it is correct to take the bishop off and then the knight recaptures. Just check my analysis in the comments box for that and we'll go a bit further into it. What he plays, in fact, is this. And what he's placing heavy reliance on here is the fact that although white is threatening bishop f7, he's attacking the queen. Is it worth it? Well, no, I don't think that it is. So let's take a closer look at this. I did take the pawn, and now we're even in pawns, 3 each. Bishop takes f7 check. So what can he do here? Well, in the comments, if you look at them, if he plays the king here, white has a choice of either castling or playing rook d1, and black will find himself in a few problems. Although, admittedly, it does work out better, in fact, than his text move. But it doesn't look as though it does, but he played here, king e7. So, what do we do now? Well, the move that he overlooked when he played knight c5 is this, and it's bishop a3. We're taking the bishop away from the long a1 to h8 diagonal, and we're pinning his knight against the king, crushing. Now, he really can't afford to play something like knight here, covering this, because it will be queen e6 mate. He has to keep this bishop line open, so he played b6, which is fair enough. That was the move that I reckon with. So, we can't castle here, but we can play rook d1, and we hit the queen. Now black sees that he's in all sorts of problems. What can he do? Well, he can he can't use this to fianchetto the bishop. He can play the bishop there to block the attack. Can you see what's coming here? Just take a little look at that position for a moment. Well, congrats to those that have seen it. You play here, you hit the knight. But that's not where it ends, because we're threatening e6, followed by rook here. And remember, this knight is pinned, we win the queen. His position is going from bad to worse very quickly. This is a devastating attack, while all that he can really muster here is to play knight g4. So what did I do? I played e6. And like I say, you're threatening rook d7, winning the queen. So in order to avoid that, he plays king f6. So what do we do now? Right, well, we play knight d5 check, and we're stopping him going back here. Not that he'd want to, but he can't anyway. Knight d5. So how does he answer that? Well, just check the comments box out for the alternatives. He played the best move, really, king to here, thinking that he's going to escape, because if he plays anywhere here, he's quickly mated. But he's still quickly mated. Can you see how? It's a neat resource. We've diverted the bishop away from this long diagonal, placing it on a3. Now we bring it to c1, covering the far side. So what the hell does he do there? Well, he plays his knight in. It's really nothing else. But you don't take it with the bishop, not a bit of it. You take it with the queen. Look at that. What a fantastic position. Now, no matter what black does here, he's mated on the next move. If he plays to f5, or to g4, or to here, it makes no odds. Queen to f4 is checkmate. And that is a wonderful game. And on the basis of this game and the previous one, but particularly this game, because this is against the best defense, I would recommend the Danish Gambit to anyone, especially in speed chess, because I think you'd catch your opponents out. And good luck to you in it. All the very best, and goodbye for now.